My name is Kevin Fair. I am the founder and executor of I Play Games. I Play Games really started off really as kind of like a passion kind of piece. I wanted to do something different, besides my 9 to 5 gig. And so running tournaments for fighting games was really kind of like something that was just kind of fun for me at the time. And what it's kind of grown into is not only do I do equipment rental for tournaments and larger size events, but I also do a lot of consulting. So like the point of being able to play games, play every kind of game, kind of makes me knowledgeable about a lot of different kind of games, and that knowledge really helps when I'm trying to plan an event for somebody. Oh man, I've gotten it all, man, and guess what? It's great. I've gotten the rave reviews. I've gotten the uh, the disgruntled customer, and guess what, man? I mean, like really, man, all of them were learning experiences, each and every one. Like even when people were mad and they said something that basically they broke a rule on or didn't really follow policy on, it really gave me a good opportunity to kind of realize like, okay, so people don't receive the message this way, or this part of this event isn't working, even though we made it policy. For some people, it's not working. So I have gotten a lot of different kind of reviews over time, but I got to say, generally, I think a lot of people recognize I do it because I have fun. And even when I get criticism, it's always constructive criticism. So I'm not afraid to, talk about times where something was done one way, and then people were just kind of like, hey, man, well, what if you tried it this way? And honestly, man, it's fun. It's fun to me to get it right. It's fun to me to provide a really good time. And overall, man, I think a lot of people are happy with, our passion in gaming. So, a lot of people, in my experience from running video game events, a lot of people tend to stick to games that they like and know already. So if it's a game that they've already experienced with, when you start talking about a community, you start talking about things that force people to do things together. Now, you can sit at home and play video games all you want. Does that really involve a community? Not really. So, a community a lot of times is online events, live events, tournaments. That's when you start getting into community building. It's a point where everybody's input matters. And so, what I would say I bring to the community a lot of times is that, again, people come out for games that they usually know about already. People don't come out for a tournament to a game they've never played. If they play Street Fighter and you're having a Street Fighter tournament, they're going to come because of Street Fighter. But what I've been able to do is really kind of play around with different kinds of games that have an appeal to everyone and do a really good job of introducing it to people. So, like, one of the games that I think is a perfect example of this is on PlayStation Network. There is a game that's a part of an entire sports pack, or they used to call it Sports Friends. But Johannes Sebastian Joust has been this killer awesome game that we've had so much community fun with tons of people who don't own the game, don't own PlayStation Move controllers, but it's easy to play, fun to get into. So yeah, we try to bring something fresh. Like if I would say one thing I do for the community is making sure I take their feedback, and then I try to bring them something fresh, something they haven't done before. I think the best way of doing it is making sure that your branding, your messaging, all of those things are things that make people know that it's okay for them to come. That is inclusionary for you to come as a non-gamer, as a casual gamer, as a competitive gamer. There's a space for you. I think sometimes when you put up tournament, it might kind of like intimidate people sometimes. So a lot of people have seen I'll have a tournament that also has a mystery game. And I think the fighting game community has done a really good job of like putting mystery game out, something anybody can kind of like enter in. But in addition to that, I've got, music, a DJ is playing, there's going to be food, so it's a nice spot for you to kind of chill. And it's like, dude, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you played video games once. So I feel like the sky is really the limit as to who can come to my event. Like there's so many people, I feel like it'll appeal to you. It'll appeal to you. So yeah, I think you just kind of got to make sure people know that. Fans. Wow, that's a real. No, you know what? Realistically, man, when people come to the events, man, I really consider them more like friends, man. There are very few times that people don't come to the events, and even if it's not like, yo, this is my best friend, it's like you start some level of camaraderie, and it's like people will really kind of walk away as friends. And so I guess my message would be thank you. I'm a guy that started off really with relatively, nothing, no equipment, no, fan base. I didn't have a following or anything like that. And really, man, just through kind of working hard and trying to do things to make sure I listen to communities, have really, caused people to continue to follow the work that I do. And so thanks. Thank you very much. So on my website, www.ipgnation.com is the first way that you can send an email directly to me. Also, my Twitter feed is growing a little bit, so I'm trying to make sure I get some more short-term communication, like feedback on events and stuff like that on my Twitter at kfair_IPG. And then I am also the head of the Chicago Video Gamers Organization on Meetup.com. So if you're on Meetup already, look for Chicago Video Gamers Club, and you'll be able to contact me pretty quickly through there. I play games. No, I mean, like, dude, follow what makes you happy, man. I don't think you could fail.